How many of you here, let me ask you a question, have asked yourself over time, over the years, if I just knew what I was supposed to do with my life? Anybody ever asked that? I think from the time we're born, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always wanted to be a Flintstone. That didn't happen. From the time we're born, what do you want to be when you grow up? What's the plan for your life? What direction are you going to follow? What woman are you going to marry? What guy are you going to marry? Whatever. Where are you going to live? What are you going to do for a living? And these questions are just thrust upon us. Our parents are always there to say, when are you going to grow up? Answer to that question, never. My mother went to her grave asking that question. I got the last laugh. I'm a bigger idiot today than when I was young. And it's your fault. Gotta have a plan, right? Gotta be doing something, working toward that goal. If you're not, then what are you? You're a slacker, McFly. I'm reading a book. I was given a book for Christmas, and it's called The Forgotten 500. And y'all seen that movie, The Great Escape, where they dig out? So I think Steve McQueen's in it or whatever. Anyway, as big as an escape story as that was, and it was true of the Second World War, there's a bigger one. And it was classified by the governments because the way it was done was kind of questionable to some of the other governments. So therefore, they never said a word about it. Until now, of course. Nothing's sacred anymore. Anyway, they've put it into a book. It's called The Forgotten 500. And it starts about an OSS man, a government agent, who eventually that became the FBI. But at the time it was OSS. And he was sitting in Italy and he was thinking about a friend of his who was an airman in the B-17, was shot down. The plane crashed in what is now Serbia or Croatia. Back then it was Yugoslavia. Anyway, they were running through the hills of those mountains trying to hide from the Germans because that was a German stronghold there. And they were trying to hide from the Germans. Well, it turns out there was 500 airmen. And he asked himself a question. He says, when is it okay not to do what you know needs to be done? When is it okay not to do what you know needs to be done? And this was a question that haunted him, and he got some advice, and he writes this quote in the book, which I think is just brilliant, as he's wrestling with himself. What should I do about these men who are fighting for their lives just to survive another day? And here I am sitting in Italy enjoying a pizza. If we are honest with ourselves, are we ever honest with ourselves? Yeah, that hair is as bad as you think it is. And those jeans don't fit you at all. If we're honest with ourselves, our sense of duty will pursue us evermore. It's omnipresent. It's like the very presence of the living God. We cannot escape it. If we take to ourselves the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost part of a foreign sea, our duty performed or our duty neglected remains with us, causing us our happiness or our misery. If we call upon the darkness to cover us, even in the darkness as in the light, our obligation is with us still. When we know what needs to be done and fail to act, it is to deny the very presence of God standing next to us. Wow. This man knew that going into Yugoslavia and trying to get these guys out was a suicide mission. It was a fate that would end in disaster. And yet somehow he put together a team and devised the craziest plan ever and did just that to the detriment of a few other governments who didn't want that to happen. Exposed the German horror and saved 500 airmen from the United States, a couple from Britain, and brought them back to the safety of Italy that had been taken over by the Americans by then. One guy decided to act. One guy decided to do what he knew needed to be done. Never heard about it. It was covered up by the governments. That, my friends, was the great escape. The forgotten 500. This morning a man confronted Jesus and said, "What must I do?" That's a bold question to ask of the Son of the living God. What must I do to gain the kingdom of heaven? To be responsible to what is expected of me. What does God expect of me? What must I do? Jesus said, love the Lord. First and foremost, love the Lord with everything that you are. Your heart in devotion, your mind in intelligence, your soul with eternity, and your strength, your abilities. Love the Lord with everything you are. And secondly, love one another with the same strength. That's what you got to do. That's your duty. That's your obligation. And from birth till death, it will never leave you. It will never leave you. What happens when a man knows what to do and does it not? We'll talk about that this morning. First, I want you to stand one more time.